palette here. Colors are kind of funny names, but this one, you're gonna have one that looks kind of green, that have that neon pink, deep yellow, chrome orange. You're gonna have this dark blue, a dark red, and then the titanium white.
Excellent. And we are waiting on one more in our private Zoom room, Kate, just to let you know. But
Okay.
this is also going live on Facebook as of now for anybody who hasn't participated in buying a party pack. Oh, and Monica is here.
All right. Hi, Monica. All right, great. So everybody's here. So yeah, just again, my name is Kate. For those of you that I haven't met already, if we've met, hello again. Coming to you here live from my home studio, aka my kitchen table. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. So tonight we're actually painting this super cute HighlandCow. The colors that I've used are a lot of bright colors. You know, definitely I would say in the neon family, the neon hue. But if at any point you want to switch up the colors on your painting, that's totally an option for you. Feel free to do that. I am going to paint this one pretty similar to the sample that you see here. No painting ever comes out exactly alike, but just know that if you do like this one and this color palette, this is what we are going to be doing tonight. So, but like I said, feel free to switch up your colors if you want. And questions, if you have any questions as we're going, feel free to shout them out to me, okay? Let's see, 7:05 right now. I would anticipate that this is going to take us at least an hour and a half tonight. So grab some wine, grab some water, whatever you need. Okay, and we're gonna get started. All right, so I've got my 3 brushes. I've got my paint colors. I also have water. I did have a water, where is it? Over here. Water for my brushes, just in case. All right, so the first color that we're gonna get into here, first thing I'm gonna focus on is the background. All right, you'll notice on this one, this has a lot of different colors, a lot of real free brush strokes here. Let's see. Oh, Lindsay, you got it fixed? Okay, good. So just as we're going in the background, just really kind of be like loose with your brush strokes. Just, there's no rhyme or reason to it, okay? We're just gonna focus on getting the paint on the canvas. And if you do have the pre-traced one, we're just going to be focusing on going all around that pre-traced area. Okay. So we're going to mix up our first color. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix together a lot of white and a little bit of this deep red. So what I mean by that is I'm going to do 4 brush loads, or we call it 4 parts. So just count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4 brush loads of the white. And then I'm going to do 1 brush load of the red. And just start to mix those together. What? Oh, I don't know. All right, so just keep mixing that until we get, I'm kind of going for a little bit of a pink tone here. Let's see what mine looks like. All right, so you want to have a lot of that paint on the brush, and I usually like to work left to right. So we're just gonna start up in the upper left-hand corner and just really nice and slowly brushing on that paint. Okay, no rhyme or reason to your brush strokes here, just going around that cow. And you may find that the paint isn't moving as well on the canvas, or if you start noticing that you need more paint, you can grab more paint, or you can just quickly dip your brush in the water. So there's just a little bit of water on your brush and use that, and that's gonna help spread the paint out for you. All right, so I'm just painting all around the background here. If you want to lighten this color, add a little more white. If you want to darken it up, you can add a little bit if you have that magenta color, either some of the magenta color or the deep red. Just lightening mine a little bit. If you can, with your big brush, get up real close to those pencil marks. If not, that's all right. We're gonna go back in and do details at the end. All right, I'm leaving this bottom left-hand corner kind of blank for now because we're gonna be adding a lot of fur on that side. So I'm just kind of focusing on the top and this right side here, just to start. I really love this painting because there's not a lot of precise lines to it. It's really just very like free flowing, which is just, in my opinion, more fun to paint. All right, so I'm just getting my pink on there. All around our cow. Starts to feel really dry in an area, like I said, just put a little water on your brush, mix it in. I actually have a bunch of extra palettes just because I know we're going to be doing a lot of mixing. So if you have a paper plate, an extra palette, I would grab that because we are going to be doing a bunch of mixing. All right, so now with the same brush, I'm going to add in, there's some yellow here, all in the background, just randomly around. So with that same brush, now I'm going to go in, I'm not rinsing it or anything. I'm going to do one part or one brush full of that deep yellow. And I'm going to mix that with 2 parts or 2 brush loads of the titanium white. 1, 2. And just mix that up. All right, and I'm going to start the bottom right corner here for this one, and I'm just going to, holding my brush just like a pencil, just kind of do some upward strokes here. Just some vertical strokes. Just adding some yellow, adding some different colors in, and then I'm just going to work my way up around the cow, just randomly adding that yellow in as I go. Like I said, no real rhyme or reason to it, just abstract here. Adding as much or as little of the yellow as you want. We're adding a ton of color to this piece, so. Just a little bit of yellow in there. And now I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the orange. I'm gonna add a little bit of orange in and around. So I'm gonna take same brush, not rinsing it. I'm gonna do, this time I'm gonna do a brush load of orange and 1 brush full of the white together. And I'm gonna mix that up. And same thing, I think I'm gonna start down here in that right-hand corner again with my orange. Just adding some random orange in around the cow. Just anywhere you want. Orange isn't your thing, then leave this one out. All right, how we doing? Am I going too fast? Are we good? Everybody good? I feel like that means everybody's good.
Haven't heard anything from anybody, but I'm also not painting. But you are getting a lot of love on Facebook, including from your mom. So give her a wave.
Oh, Mayor Burke. Hi, Mayor Burke. I can't see you, but. All right, so we've got our pink background, we've got our yellow on there, we've got some orange in throughout there. I'm just gonna come in real quick so you guys can see what mine's looking like.
All right, Lindsay said, can you slow down just a bit?
Okay. Will do. All right, the next thing that we're gonna be doing, I'm taking a minute though for you guys to catch up to me here. But the next thing that we're gonna be focused on is we're gonna get into this blue now. A lot of this cow is blue. Okay, so we're gonna start getting some blue into the big body part here. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna wanna rinse that big brush now. Rinse it out. Dry the bristles, paper towel if you have it. But it should be pretty caught up by now. All right, so let's start in on that blue. All right, so with this blue, it's a pretty dark blue here. All right, I'm gonna mix, I'm gonna do 2 parts of the blue with 1 part red, 1 part deep red. Okay, so 2 brush loads of the blue, 1 part deep red. All right, go ahead and mix that up. Still using our biggest brush here. Whatever is your biggest brush, that's what we're using. All right, and I'm just gonna start, there's kind of a V shape here under his head and neck area, okay? It's kind of like his chest area. And I'm just gonna, instead of holding my brush on the wide side here, I'm just gonna turn my brush so it's on its thinnest side now, okay? And I'm just gonna go over these little traced out lines here. They're kind of coming down like a V on his chest, okay? I'm just giving myself like a little guideline here. Just like that. And now same thing, I'm gonna come up here, I'm gonna start over here on his ear, and I'm just gonna, same thing, turning your brush so it's on the thin side. Just gonna go over here and I'm gonna go over those lines that are already penciled out for me. Now, if you're feeling like you don't have enough control over this brush or it's too big for you, that's fine, go down to a smaller brush. Just go down to a smaller brush. All right. So I'm just tracing those lines, and I've got a few small lines here. Those are supposed to be like the shaggy parts of the ear. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Come in with the ears, shaggy parts. All right. Give everybody a minute to make sure they got that. Everybody getting that? All right, so now I'm gonna add in, now that I've got this really dark blue, now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lighten up my blue a little bit. So the next color I'm gonna make with that same brush, this time around I'm gonna do 2 parts blue, so 2 brush loads of blue, and 1 part white. 1 brush load of white here. Hello, Claypen fan on Facebook. Hello, Firestone fan on Facebook. Let me know if you're here. Let us know. All right, so you should have like a little bit lighter of a blue now. And now what we're going to focus on is kind of filling in that chest area, okay? And now this is fur, this is hair. So really what we want to do is some long, loose flowing strokes there. Just nothing perfect, no precise lines here, but we're just focusing just in around inside of those outlines that we made. Just kind of filling in, nothing precise, just very loose, wavy strokes here. If you're wanting colors to blend more, or if you're feeling like you don't have enough paint on there, just add some water. We're gonna be layering a ton on here. So if you're feeling like the fur isn't, or the hair isn't looking like hair right now, it's looking too solid, that's okay, because we're gonna be layering on top one after another. So eventually it's gonna start to look like hair. All right, so I'm just kind of filling that in, kind of sticking to that V pattern. And now same thing, I'm gonna go up here on my first ear and just start filling that in, okay? Again, I'm holding my brush like I would a pencil, okay? And rather than using it this way, I'm turning my brush so it's on the more narrow side, okay? And I'm just gonna do some short strokes here, just real short. Blending a little bit as I go, that dark color, that darker blue in with the light blue. Okay, these ears are shaggy, so just kind of flick of the wrist. Same thing on the other side. Short strokes on the narrow side of your brush. Short downward strokes. Shaggy ears here. Oh man, I forgot my background music tonight. I gotta put that on. It's too quiet around here. All right, so making those ears as shaggy as you want. We're gonna be adding more hair to them later, so. All right, I'll give everybody a minute to catch up here. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. Oh, Stacy, you're missing my playlist. I know. What should I play? Somebody needs to shout me out a good playlist. Good painting playlist. Then I'll put on in the background. All right, so we're gonna move on. We've got the V of the chest here. We've got our 2 ears done for now. Now I think I'm gonna focus in right under here. You can't even see it anymore on this guy, but underneath here, we had some blue here first before we added all this fun neon stuff. So we're gonna go right on his forehead here. Let's call him kind of his bangs. Let's see. Did I get an alert? What's happening here? All right, so again, I'm using that light blue again. If you want to do the dark blue here, that's fine as well, whichever blue you prefer. It's going to be mostly covered by that shaggy hair on top, but we're just going to get this first layer on there, okay? So again, holding my brush like a pencil, turning my brush so it's on its narrow side here. And I'm just going to do some vertical up and down, kind of following along with those bangs, with how those bangs are penciled in, okay? So watch me do it first, okay? Watch me do it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, see how I'm just kind of going along, kind of up and down, up and down. Again, if you think this brush is too big for you, move down to a smaller brush. All right. This is a shaggy guy. All right, so now we got that done. So now I think let's go in and kind of fill in the blue on the rest of our cow here. Let's fill in the left side of his body and the right. All right, so I'm gonna kind of mix it up. I'm gonna add a little bit of the darkest blue we made, okay? And the dark blue was, remember, the blue mixed with the deep red, okay? I'm gonna go in and just give him some more kind of fur. I'm just going right over those lines that I already have penciled on there for me. All right, so I'm just kind of nice short strokes, just kind of filling in. Okay, and you'll notice I am kind of creating like a little bit of a C with my stroke because I kind of want it to look like it's coming to a V here. So on this side, I'm kind of curving my brush a little bit as I'm painting, just curving it. And like I said, I'm doing a mixture. I'm doing some of that dark blue that we made, and I'm also doing some of the light blue. So the dark blue was the blue mixed with the red, and the light blue is that blue mixed with white. All right, same thing on the other side now. I'm kind of curving my strokes, just curving them as I go. Is everybody on the same page here? How we doing? Let me know. I'm just trying to fill this guy in. I'm gonna add a little water to my brush. Gonna help my paint move around a little bit. Just kind of filling it in here as I go. Like I said, if it doesn't look like fur right now, don't worry. We're gonna be adding a bunch of layers. I'm just trying to fill it in, just trying to cover up the white of the canvas. Just trying to get all that blue on there. We're going to use every single color in this palette tonight. If you're following along with me, if you choose your own colors, that's cool too. But if you decide to do what I'm doing, we'll be using every single color. All right. Filling them in. Now, I'm definitely a standing painter. So sometimes when you're standing, it's hard to get the bottom of your canvas. Don't forget about that. Just get in there on the bottom. Make sure you got it all covered. And then we can always come up that way. Just to blend it a little bit there. All right, I've got my guy mostly covered. I'm gonna bring it a little closer so you guys can see what I'm working with here. Melissa, hi Melissa. All right, so now I got my blue on there. I'm gonna go grab another red. Let's see. Whoa, that one's crazy. All right, so now that we got a lot of blue on here, now we're gonna break up that blue a little bit, and we're gonna get some deep red. Okay, so you should have a red that's labeled deep red, and then another red that looks like pink that's called phthalo with a P, phthalo red. All right, so you guys should have both of those in your little pack there. Let's see, which one do I want to do? All right, I think I'm gonna switch up my brush. I'm gonna go down to a brush that's a little bit smaller than this. So whatever is like your medium-sized brush. A little bit smaller. If you do have it, you're kind of wanting that flat bristle if you have that one. If not, that's okay, we'll work with it. So again, I'm gonna go into my blue first. And I'm gonna do one brush load of blue. And I'm gonna mix that with one brush load of red. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do 2 brush loads of red. There we go. Of the deep red. The deep red. Okay, so just to recap, that's 1 blue, 2 of the deep red that I'm mixing here. Went down to a little bit smaller of a brush, okay? And the next thing we're gonna focus on is we're gonna focus on kind of his shoulders here, okay? Both the shoulders here, we're gonna add some red. So once again, holding my paintbrush similar to a pencil, turning my brush on its side, so it's the narrower side. And I'm just gonna add, they almost look like feathers up here, okay? Just a little bit of red. And my red, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's almost like a dark maroony kind of red. That's what I got going on. All right, I'll give you a little close up so you guys can see the color that I'm working with in case you're wanting to go for that exact color. All right, but it's just gonna kind of look like he's gonna have some feathers on both sides here. Okay, so whatever I did to this side, I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm just gonna add some fur, working with the thin side of my brush, kind of curving, doing some curve strokes here. Just adding a little bit of fur. Is Victoria watching? Hi, Victoria. Hope everybody's going to show me pictures of what they painted after this. All right. So I've got, kind of looks like he's got some like shoulder pads happening right now on both sides, right? And I think we're also going to add this red color in on his head. So this is a lot. This is a big surface, so you might need to make some more. All right, so if you need to make more, it's 2 brush loads of that deep red and 1 brush load of the blue. All right, mixing that up. All right, and then as I'm painting his head, I'm gonna kind of focus on just vertical strokes here, all right? Because I know eventually we're also gonna be doing some like vertical strokes with that shaggy hair that's gonna be hanging down. So I'm just gonna kind of start in the middle and just kind of no rhyme or reason to it, but I'm just getting some dark color up here, okay? Just doing, like I said, just like some vertical strokes, starting at the top, working your way down. Now I might do some from the bottom coming up, just to give it a little bit more texture, a little bit more interest. Most of this is going to be covered up, but the little bit that we do see in the end is going to give this a little bit of dimension, a little bit of movement. So it is important to have these dark colors behind our bright neons. Let me see. Oh, do I have a question here? Oh, okay. Good job, Daniel. Alrighty. Kind of got like a really crazy wig hat situation happening right now. And it's okay if you overlap onto the blue that we did. That's totally fine. Again, like I feel like my canvas just feels a little bit dry. I'm just going to add a little bit of water onto my brush. Just kind of helps things blend a little bit without having to use more paint. Ooh, Now you don't want to get too much water on there that starts to drip. Mine's starting to drip a little bit. All right, I'm just kind of filling in that head, getting it ready to get his hair did here. These Highland cows are so cool. I know there's like pictures of them everywhere. Like I went to Target today like a crazy person, and I feel like every aisle I went down, there was like a beautiful picture of a Highland cow. I was like, oh, it's a sign. They knew what we were doing tonight. All right, so I'm just still my vertical strokes, just trying to kind of fill that in. Kind of like a little bit of a purpley, maroony color. All right, and while we've still got that purple maroony color made, we're gonna get in and do our first layer kind of on the nose, or avoiding the nostrils though. Okay, the nostrils that you can see there, we're avoiding those guys. We're leaving those blank for now. And we're just gonna go around with this purple maroony color. You guys can watch me do it first if you want, so you can see what I'm talking about. All right. I might need to make some more. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. I'm just gonna do kind of like a U shape. You wanna go down to a smaller brush for more control, you can. Just doing kind of a U shape to start. Okay, that's above the nostrils. And then I'm gonna come down around on both sides. Here, over here. And then I'm gonna come down and do one line in the middle, down to the bottom here. Everybody with me? And then I'm going to kind of connect these. Just following along that retraced line. I don't know, it's kind of looking a little bit like the bat signal right now, or like a car logo, but that's it. All right. So everybody go ahead and do that. Like I said, we're just trying to leave the nostrils kind of blank here for now. All right, and I think I'm actually going to go in and just kind of close out this circle on top as well. There we go. All right, everybody got that? So that's our first layer of kind of the nostrils of the, leaving the nostrils blank. I guess I would call this like the muzzle of the cow. My husband's here, he's shimmying past the camera, so if you see anything, go ahead. All right, let's see. Now that we have that done, trying to see where else do I want to add some of this purple in before we move on. I think we're going to be good on the purple now, so let's rinse out our brush. We're going to move on to our next color. All right, and the next step, we're gonna actually paint the horns, and we're gonna paint all around anything that's around his muzzle area. And then we're gonna kind of get in on the nostrils as well. All right, so we're gonna be painting the horns, the face, and in around the muzzle, all with the same color. All right, color we're gonna use now, we're gonna go back to making another kind of light blue here. So we're gonna do the 2 parts white. So 2 brush loads of white and 1 brush load of blue. All right, so that's 2 white, 1 blue. Give that a mix. I'm using my medium-sized brush right now. So my blue is a little bit lighter than the lightest blue we had previously used. That's okay. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is paint these horns. Okay, so we're gonna do the outline first. So starting on the left one, you're just gonna turn your brush, follow along the outline of the horn. There's one. Same thing on the inside part, follow along the outline. They come up to kind of like a point here on the top. All right, and then you're just gonna go ahead and fill that in with the blue. Just like painting by number here, just coloring it in. All right. And then moving on to the second horn. Same thing, outlining. One side, outlining the other side. Just do nice short strokes here. Short and slow until you have it all filled in. Colors happen to mix together, that's all right. We're gonna be putting some shadows and highlights and all that good stuff on these horns, so it's all good. I'm kind of noticing like I have, you know, some white on the canvas where, because I didn't get up real close on my first pass with the background colors, so that's something that will go in at the end and make sure that we have all that covered and everything. All right, so I got my horns. Now I'm gonna get in around the face of our little cow here. So same thing, I'm just gonna kind of start with the narrow part of my brush, and I'm just kind of outlining. I'm going right over, right on top of those lines that are already pre-traced for me. All right, and then just like we did with that darker blue when we did like his bangs area there, the shaggy part, same thing. Now I'm just going in and I'm doing that zigzag with the light blue. So I'm doing that zigzag just underneath that dark blue. Now I'm gonna have that zigzag of the light blue. All right, we're just slowly filling this guy in. Just outlining it, filling in as we go. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more blue to mine. So it's gonna darken up just a little bit. Like I said, this just happens to be my favorite painting of all of our canvas options. But if there's, you know, something else that you guys have been wanting to paint or thinking about, if you've visited us in studio before and had a chance to kind of flip through all the designs that we have, let me know. Or if there's something that you don't know if we have it or if we can do it, just feel free to ask. And at this point, we're like taking requests, so let us know what you guys want to see next. We'd be happy to do it. All right, so you can see I'm just like filling in. Just filling them in little by little here.
It's looking real good, Kate.
Oh, thank you.
Positive reinforcement. What was the best time you ever painted this one? Remember that time?
What was the best time I ever painted?
No, this HighlandCow, that private class for Cato Corner cheese. Best class we ever had.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was awesome. That was a fun one.
I say that because they brought a heck of a lot of cheese for everyone.
Yeah, they did. All right. So I'm just filling in, but you see I like left the inside of the nostrils plain for now. But I think we should go ahead and fill those guys in. So once you get here, kind of start filling in a little at a time. Oh, our cow is growing up. Look at him. He's becoming a cow. He's like not even that shaggy yet. You're gonna get a whole lot more hair, buddy. All right, filling in here a little bit. Let me know, is everybody caught up to me? You know, if I'm going too quick. It's hard for me to gauge because I don't have everybody, you know, I'm not able to see what everyone's doing. So it's hard for me to know if I'm going too quick for you guys or not. All right, I'm just making myself some more of that blue. So I'm just gonna get in here on the bottom. He does kind of have some fur on the bottom. You'll notice like in this one, we're gonna give him like a little bit of a beard there in the end. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and go in with my light blue again, just kind of filling that in. But you'll notice I'm doing like kind of like a horizontal, almost like giving him kind of a chin there. All right. So it's just going to kind of differentiate from the body that we made earlier with those V strokes. Now I'm kind of going in a little horizontal. This is just a little more like defined here. I'm trying to be a little bit more purposeful about my strokes. So I'm just kind of trying to define this jawline, if you will. I'll bring this guy up. Dang, everyone's quiet tonight. All right, and I'll go ahead and fill this in here. That light blue again. Just doing nice short strokes. Just trying to fill in here. I'm really filling those nostrils now. Totally fine if you're overlapping things. All right. So this is pretty much the base of our cow at this point. So from here on out,
Sure, I understand.
oh, I'm not talking to you. So from here on out, we're really just going to be layering colors and layering brush stroke after brush stroke. Okay. Let's see. So where do we want to go next on this guy? All right, so I'm going to rinse my brush. All right, and I think I'm going to go down to whatever's your smallest brush that you have. You don't want it to be, here, I'll give you like for size comparison here, let's see. All right, so this is the brush that I have been using, okay? And this is the one that I'm gonna use next. So it's like not a lot smaller, but just a little bit smaller. Okay, this one here, like this is too small. Maybe we can make it work if you have this, but. All right. So I think the next color that I'm gonna get in here, I haven't put any green in here yet. So I think we're gonna get in here with some green, all right? Not gonna be like a real bright green. It's gonna be a muted green. So everybody should have in their palette, it's called the phthalo green. All right, and I'm gonna mix, it's gonna be 4 parts white to 1 part of the phthalo green. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 brush loads of the white, 4 of your smallest brush, and 1 brush load of the green, and then mix that up. We should have like a real, you know, kind of nice, light greenish, a green blue, maybe even. I'm gonna add a little more white into mine just because I want mine to be just a little more muted. Again, totally up to you, color choices here. All right, and I really have my brush loaded up, and I don't want that much paint on my brush for this next step. So I'm just gonna scrape some of that paint off, and I really wanna focus on the paint just being at the tip of my brush this time around. Okay, so focusing, I'm scraping off the excess paint, and I'm just focusing at wanting the paint to be just kind of on the tip of my brush for the most part. Okay, so now we're gonna get in here and add a few highlights. All right, so we're gonna start on these shaggy ears with this green. Okay, so I'm just gonna get in here and just add some small, just light strokes here, a little bit thinner strokes than we've been doing. Okay, so that's why I was saying use your smallest brush because these are gonna be just a little thinner. And I'm just adding, just random, just a little bit, just to give it some depth there. Okay, same thing on this side with this ear. Smallest brush, just randomly, lightly adding in, just giving it some depth here, giving them some layers, that crazy shaggy hair. Same thing, I'm gonna get in on both these horns now. So on this side, I'm gonna try to focus the light green kind of on the inside part of the horn. On this side, same thing, the inside part of the horn. Okay, so this is what I mean. You can watch me first if you want. Just kind of focusing on getting it to this side. Doesn't have to be one long stroke, okay? It can be kind of like some shorter strokes in there. Just all the way up, just giving it some depth, giving it a little bit of visual interest here. Alrighty. I know that's kind of hard to see on camera because it's not a huge contrast in colors there. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add some now. I'm gonna add some of that green kind of around the muzzle area. Okay, you can kind of see on the sample here, in and around the muzzles where that lighter color is. So I'm just gonna kind of follow along with what I already have on here, kind of the curves of the muzzle. Okay, I'm just gonna go all around, just short little strokes. Nothing has to be connected here. These lines don't have to be connected. They're just short strokes, short highlights. I'm gonna give him some kind of like on the chin area, a little bit here. Just short strokes. We're just adding layers here. Right, everybody good? Good to move on here. Just check something. All right, so we've got that light green on here. Let's see. Oh, we have this light green now. Why don't we add some of this into our background? All right, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of water on my brush. And while we have that pretty light green-ish color made, let's just go ahead and add some random strokes into the background while we're here. We have it ready, why not? Just kind of starting at the left, if you want to. Just adding. Just random. Again, I don't want a lot of paint on the brush here. Just wanting it to be just kind of a light stroke across here. The main focus and attention should be on the cow itself. So just kind of lightly, I'm gonna blur some of mine out. I got a little crazy. Just adding some visual interest to the background. So while we had that color made, figured why not. All right, go ahead and rinse this small brush again now. We're gonna move on to a different color. All right, so now that we just did was kind of like a highlight or a lighter color. Now we're gonna get in with a darker color and kind of focus in on adding some more shadows. Okay, so I'm going for that phthalo blue, okay, that darkest blue. I gotta grab some more here. All right, and once again, we're gonna kind of focus in on that V, the V part of his chest area. We're gonna darken that up just a little bit. We're just gonna try to define that a little bit more. So I got my smallest brush. Up to you, you can use a small or medium brush here. And I'm just gonna kind of focus in on where that V was originally. And the color that I'm using here, it's just straight blue. I didn't mix anything with it, okay? It's just that straight dark phthalo blue, okay? And I'm just starting underneath where I think like his, kind of like his jawline or his chin is. I'm just starting there and just doing short, loose strokes all the way down, okay? And then I'm coming back and I'm just kind of focusing on making like that V, okay? Just giving some definition to his chest area here. Just loose strokes. Again, playing around with turning your brush on its side. You know, he's not going to have perfect hair, so we don't want it to look perfect. We want that to be a little bit loose, a little bit weird. All right. And I think we should also give a little bit of definition and some shadowing in on the nostrils now. So you can watch me first if you want to see where I'm putting it, okay? So I'm gonna start on the left one here. I'm just gonna start on the edge of the left one, working nice and slow. Same thing on this side. Just defining it just a little bit. As we go. All right. See, I'm also gonna get in again on this bang area. I'm gonna give him some more shadow up here. So I'm just gonna follow along, again, this kind of zigzag of where his bangs are with that phthalo blue. Just giving, you know, more layers, more dimension here. Just up and down with the brush. It doesn't have to be super neat. It's okay if it's overlapping. We're just wanting to get more colors on there, more and more color as we go. All right, got a lot of shadows on here. It's looking pretty good. Let's see. All right, so while we got this dark blue, I think I'm gonna give a little bit of shadow now. Now remember we did kind of like the highlight with that lighter green on the inside of the horn. So now what we're gonna do is go back with the darker color and do the outside of both of the horns, okay? So let's do just a little at a time. Again, this is your skinniest brush. Slowly adding, doesn't have to be a lot. As much or as little as you want here. Just slowly giving a little bit more definition to those horns. That's looking pretty good. All right, is everybody with me? We good to move on? let's see, it's 8:08. So we've been at this for an hour now. So I think this is a good time to take a little break. So let's take a 2-minute break. So go ahead, wash your hands, grab a drink, do what you need to do, grab a snack. If you got any questions, if you want to show me what you got so far, I'd love to see it. You can private message me if you want. But yeah, let's go ahead and take 2 minutes here and we'll come back, okay?
Avery, stop. Ha ha. No, you're not allowed to do that.
Who's talking to me out there? Thought I heard somebody. All right, are we ready to get back to it? Cheers, everyone. Happy Monday. All right, so here we are. All right, now the fun stuff's gonna start. Now we're gonna start adding just color after color after color, okay? So get some spots open on your palette here. I like to mix colors. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure my brushes are good to go. kind of a messy painter. Brushes are good. Alrighty. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to your medium-sized brush. Okay. Go back to our medium-sized brush. And the next color that we're gonna do, we're gonna get like some pink. A lot of pink is the next color that we're gonna add. Oh man, look at my hands. How does that happen? Right. So we got our medium brush here, and we're going to mix in order to get a fun color pink. Let's do 2 parts. Which one should I do? We'll do 2 parts of the phthalo red. So the phthalo red, it actually looks like pink to me. I would call it pink, but it's called the phthalo red. So we're going to do 2 parts of that. Two parts of that. And hopefully everybody's got a little white left. So we're going to be using more white. Okay, and we're going to do 2 parts of the white. Okay, so 2 brush loads of that phthalo red that actually looks like pink, and 2 brush loads of the titanium white. Give that a good mix. If you want to add more white to lighten it up, totally do that. If you want to add more of the phthalo red to darken it, go for it. Totally up to you. Got any questions here? Yeah. All right, so I'm kind of liking this. I added a little more white to mine. I'm liking this here. And where I'm going to start now is I'm going to get back to these shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to add some of this light, this pink that we just made. So I'm going to go ahead, once again, holding my brush like a pencil, turning my brush on its side to where it's like the narrow side. All right, and I'm just getting in right over the top of that maroon color. And maybe these little strokes are going a little bit longer now, okay? Now we're starting to really put that hair on this guy. All right, loose strokes, kind of flicking your wrist at the end will help for the, to give you that like tapered off look, okay? We don't want perfect strokes here. The goal is not a perfect line. If anything, we want it to be crazy and wavy. Kind of like me, right? Okay. All right, next side, same thing. Starting up at the top, loose. We might even kind of move over now. It's kind of flowing off of our cow at this point. He's caught in a windstorm. It's getting wild here. I don't know where he lives. It's crazy in Scotland. I don't know. But he's in the wind at this point. He's in the wind, everybody. Woo! Look at those shoulder pads. Holy cow. Okay. All right, so we're getting a lot of paint on here, getting a lot of pink. Everybody good? All right, now we're gonna get in on this hair. Starting right in the middle. You wanna think of this guy having like a middle part, right on top. You can watch me do it first if you want. Just one long wavy stroke there. This guy's got a perm. Okay, up and down with your brush. Remember, flicking your wrist at the end is gonna give that like a tapered off look as we go, just layering paint on. Okay, If you're wanting it to blend more, just adding a little bit of water on right directly onto your brush and it will blend. If you're wanting it to look like more defined hair, then you're going to want to use a smaller brush even. You're going to want to get some more paint on your brush. All right, but kind of no rhyme or reason here. We're just layering this guy up. Giving him a lot of pink hair. Come a little closer. It's getting hairy. Hairy Carey. Danielle, I know you like all my jokes, so whatever.
You mean you can't hear me laughing over here? I'm social distance laughing, I swear.
Okay. All right, good. I knew it, Danielle. Okay. I'm gonna add like a few more up here. I don't know, I just added like a little bit more white. I just felt like I wanted to see a little bit more defined. But the more color that we add, the more defined this hair is gonna get for us, okay? All right, I'm also, while I have that pink made, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna add some pink to the ears. Same thing, just kind of putting the pink on there, just random, flowing. This is supposed to be shaggy hair. No perfect strokes here, just nice and easy, loose, flowing. Kind of just keep your brush moving. Always keep your hand moving, okay? I need to make some more here. Next place we're gonna go with the pink, we're gonna now do another layer on the muzzle. So that like outline that we did originally with that maroony purple, now we're gonna go back in with this pink directly on top of that. All right, let's see. So directly on top, you can watch me first if you want. We're just adding color. Right on top. If some of that maroon happens to peek out, great. It's giving it some depth. Just following that exact shape that we did earlier. I don't know, I might make mine a little thicker now. I'm just thickening mine up just a tad. Maybe yours is already thick. Maybe you want to thin it out. If you want to thin it out, add more blue. All right, now he's coming to life here. I feel it. I see it happening. It's happening. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling good about this, guys. I don't know, I might add, I think I'm just gonna add like a little bit of pink in on my horns. Whatever, I like the pink, it's a pretty color. If you're feeling it, add it. If you're not, we got like 7 more colors we're gonna add, so no worries. Let's see. All right, where do we wanna go next? What's our next color? I think we could do, let's get some orange on there. All right, so same brush. I don't even rinse mine at this point because I like how it looks like that kind of fluid from one color to the next, just fine with me. So I'm gonna just not even rinse my brush and I'm just gonna go right in, start mixing my next color. All right, we're gonna get some orange on there, but we're gonna lighten it up a little bit. Let's do, just looking to see, what do we have here? I'm looking at my notes to see what step I want to do next. All right, so let's do 1, One brush load of that chrome orange, that nice dark orange that we have, and we'll do one brush load of, we'll do one brush load of deep red, okay? So this is gonna be an orange-red mix here. Orange and red. So this is gonna kind of play off of, you know, we've been adding red to the blue, we've been adding red to white, now we're adding red to orange, okay? So we're gonna see what colors we can complement with this guy. All right, so this is a really cool color, actually. I'm kind of feeling this. All right, so in case you didn't get that, it's the chrome orange and deep red, 1 and 1, equal parts here. All right, and I think we want to get a little more definition, just kind of like down in here. Let's get some of this down in here. Okay, just loose. You can curve it if you want here. Up to you. Just kind of loose. It's almost, to me, it's kind of like a neon orange. All right, I'm getting some on this side too. Just loose strokes here. Just gonna, yeah, kind of all around. I'm gonna kind of, again, trying to define this kind of darker area in here. I'm gonna give some lightness to it on the outside to even give it some more definition as I go. I think I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush just because I wanna give it a little more visual interest. I feel like switching up the brush sizes helps because obviously, like, a cow's mane and their hair is all different sizes, so why would we not switch it up? All right, so I'm just moving down just to like a little bit of a smaller brush. Just want to give it some visual interest, switch it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of go in again a little bit here and there. You can add on top of that pink if you want. Just kind of like wherever you want in there. And let's see. I'm also going to add some more on his shoulders here with this red-orange mix. I don't know, I'm really feeling this color. Go in with that. Same thing, this shoulder. Just kind of giving him broader shoulders kind of as we go. Little by little. Yeah, I'm really digging this color. All right, everybody with me?
We're with you. Can you pull them a little closer for a second? From far away, the pink and the orange look really similar. Oh, nice. Looks kind of like sherbet.
Yeah. Feeling like he's like a little bit in like a windstorm right now. All right, so now I'm gonna get like some more like truer orange in there. So same brush, I'm not gonna rinse it in between. Now I'm just gonna do chrome orange mixed with titanium white. So this is gonna be like a light orange. Okay, before we had like a pinky orange. Now this one is gonna be a light orange. Very similar, it's gonna be very similar color, just a little different. So we're doing one brush load titanium white, one brush load chrome orange. Mixing that up. And I'm gonna, again, start here at the top of the head. I'm gonna put some orange on this guy. All right, so again, I like to just start in the middle and just, yeah, get in there. Start giving him some more hair. Again, we wanna kind of be just like overlapping everything. Defining these brush strokes as we go. Just really loose. Just make sure your hand is always moving. These can be long. Maybe they're all going off to one side. Maybe it looks like mine. I don't know, like the last one we did, a lady ended up putting in, she added an eye at the end and like only one eye was showing, and that looked really cool. It's your piece, whatever you want to do here. All right, with that same light orange, I'm gonna go in on those ears, get a little, add some shaggy onto those ears. You can do as much or as little as you want here. It's your piece. I have a feeling that this guy is a little more shaggy than this guy in the end. I don't know. Same thing, I'm going in kind of like on the shoulders, just going in there, random, no rhyme or reason to it, with this light orange. And I think also at this point, I want to add a little into his beard here. I haven't really done anything. You can see on this one, the beard here, I'll bring it a little close. So we can see the beard. So we're doing kind of like some vertical lines here on the beard. I don't know, it's kind of like a little goatee action here. Okay, so that's the next thing we're gonna do. We're gonna do the beard. I'm gonna go over the muzzle again with this orange, and we're gonna add just some like highlights a little bit around. Okay, so with that light orange, we're doing a little bit of the beard, a little bit of the muzzle, and a little bit around. All right, so let's get in there and do that. A little bit of the beard, just real short, little teeny tiny short strokes here. Nothing crazy, little short strokes. Little bit on the muzzle. And if you're not feeling the orange, maybe you're using a different color. I gotta make some more, I'm running out here. A little bit of orange, a little bit of white. Using a lot of paint for this guy. All right, so I'm just getting in kind of like around on the side here, following along the curve of his muzzle, the narrow side of the brush. Just breaking up that blue that we have, right? Going right, adding some nice fluid strokes here, following along. All right. How's everybody doing? If you want to add some to the horns, maybe you want to, I don't have any orange in my horns yet. Maybe you want to add a little orange in there, anywhere you want at this point. We're still going to be adding some more yellow. We're going to be adding some more red. We're going to be adding some more blue. All right. Doing good. So now I'm going to go down to whatever is your smallest brush, if you were using it. I'm going to go to my smallest brush and I'm going to add some yellow. Okay. So for the yellow, we're going to do 2 parts or 2 brush loads of the deep yellow. And we're going to mix that with 4 brush loads of the titanium white, which I need to grab some more white. Okay, so we got 2 brush loads, 2 of your, I'm using my smallest brush here, the deep yellow mixed with 4 brush loads of the titanium white. Mix that guy up. Just wanted to move down a size in brushes, just so, again, I want to have a little bit of, defined brush strokes here. I want them to look a little bit different. I don't want them to all be the same. So again, for this, I am taking the excess paint, scraping the excess paint off the brush. I'm just leaving it at the tip of the brush here, starting on the head again, starting in the middle, and just giving them some yellow in here. So I'm just trying to focus right now. I'm just doing the brush. These brush strokes are a lot thinner than what I've been doing. I just want to give it a little more visual interest. So I'm just doing some thin brush strokes right now. Right, I'm adding some yellow in on the shoulders here as well. Both sides. I don't know, to me they look a little like feathers. This yellow is definitely kind of like different from the colors that we have been using. So this is already kind of breaking it up and definitely looking more defined. I feel like this yellow is a really nice complement to the blue as well. I'm gonna add some of this yellow in on the horns. I think because it's a lighter color, again, I'm gonna focus on the inside of the horns with this yellow. So the lighter colors, I'm focusing again on the inside. I'm just gonna do like a couple short strokes here of the yellow. Same thing on this side. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow in on like the beard part here. So this little goatee part, let's give it a little bit of yellow down here. Again, these are just really short vertical strokes here. You can, if you want, define that little chin area a little bit. Maybe you want to add in a little bit of yellow into this dark blue. See how that yellow is really kind of popping on that blue? You can see the highlights in on the horns, right? All right, we're gonna get some yellow in now. We haven't added the yellow to the muzzle yet, so we're gonna get some yellow in around on the muzzle as well, okay? Again, just I'm using a small brush here, just trying to switch it up a little bit, changing up the sizes of my brush. That way it automatically changes up the sizes of my brush strokes without even thinking about it, okay? So I'm gonna get in here. I really like how this yellow looks against the blue. So I'm gonna try to get in here next to the dark blue in the nostril with the yellow. You guys wanna see where I'm putting it first. I'm just kind of getting right in there. Come a little closer here. A little yellow up here. I'm gonna add a little yellow down in here. Just short strokes. Nothing perfect about it. I'm gonna add a little yellow on this side as well.
So if it's not perfect, could you maybe refer to it as organic?
Oh my God, it's my favorite
I don't
word.
think I've heard you say it once tonight.
I was saving it to the end.
Sorry, he's a very organic cow.
Yeah. Alrighty. Look at all those colors popping. All right, we're in the home stretch here. Okay. Let's see. We're about done. Got a couple more steps. All right, so at this point, I would say kind of look it over, see where else you want to add some stuff. Okay, what do you think's missing? Is there a certain color that you want to add more of? You know, anything that is not looking 100? Do you want to add a little more? I think for me, I'm going to add a little more dark blue on this side of my cow. I'm just feeling like there's too much negative space here. Just wanting to give him a little more definition on this side. So I'm going to rinse my brush. And let's see, I'm gonna get in with just the plain blue. Just that plain phthalo blue. I don't know, I might regret this decision, but I just feel like I just wanna add like a little more definition on this side. Just feeling like it needed it. I don't know, what do we think? I might add a little more shadowy into these nostrils. You know, we really, this whole painting, it's supposed to almost feel like it's moving, like there's movement to it. So any place that you feel that if you're looking at it, it feels like stagnant, then you need to add something there. Just like add in some more on my ears. I'm adding a little more blue on my ears here. just putting paint at the very end of my brush. I do not have a lot of paint on my brush. That way, if I don't like something, it's not the end of the world. I haven't even used my neon pink yet. I'm gonna use that next, so don't worry, I didn't forget about neon pink. My boss, Sophia, loves neon pink so much. I always try to use it in my paintings for her. All right. Okay. I'm feeling it. I like it. All right. So I'm rinsing my brush, and like I said, I'm going to get some neon pink in there because I haven't used that yet. Just want to make sure I'm using all the colors of my palette. So it's the real neon one. Everybody should have that in their palette as well. All right, so I'm gonna do, let's mix this. Let me just check my notes here. I'm gonna do 3 parts of that neon pink. I'm gonna do 3 parts of the deep yellow. And I'm gonna do 2 parts white. All right, so it's a crazy combo, guys. 3 parts or 3 brush loads of neon pink. 3 brush loads of that deep yellow. 2 brush loads of titanium white. Let's see what we got. Let's mix that up and see what we got. Feeling like I'm gonna like this. It's gonna be like a little, kind of like another orangey tone. Yeah. Just kind of like another shade of orange. It's almost like a brighter orange. See what mine's looking like. I don't know if you can tell. All right, I'm just gonna get in. This is gonna be my last big color that I'm gonna add to the cow. So same thing, I'm just gonna go over all the usual spots. I'm gonna go over the head. I'm gonna go in here on both sides, the body, and I'm gonna go in on the ears here. Just adding this, again, just kind of starting at the top. I've got my thinnest or my smallest brush. This is just adding some brightness in. At this point, if you want to even start from the bottom and work your way up to give yourself kind of like a different look, you can do that as well. Just kind of adding, I'm just going to add a little, I think just on the tops. Just on the tops of both my ears here. Not a lot, just a little bit. Just to kind of finish her up here. I'm going to get in and add a little brightness into this muzzle. I just feel like this is just like a little bit brighter. Helps it stand out a little bit. Brightening it up a little. Just adding a little bit on both shoulders here. Again, if you feel like you're seeing that white canvas peek through, add a little bit of water, just a quick dip in water, and that can help smooth that out for you. You don't want to put too much water on it. If there's too much water, then it will drip. You don't want it to be dripping. All right, so I'm just random, just kind of brightening it up here at the end. Alrighty. Let's see. Again, just giving it kind of a once over. If there's anywhere that you want to add anything, does anybody have any questions for me at this point with anything that they need to fix or anything that they're not happy with about it? Just gonna add a little bit of blue in here. I just feel like I have a lot of solid blue, a lot of that solid light blue in here, and I just want to kind of break it up a little bit, give it some more movement. Again, the way I'm doing my brush strokes, I'm just going along with kind of like the shape of the muzzle. Okay. All right. So we're on the last two steps. So the final step here, the final two steps. Now I have some white showing on my canvas here, just of like, you know, random that I didn't totally cover from the beginning. So if you have any of your original pink left, you can use that. I'll probably just get in there with my small or medium-sized brush. That pink that we had made before, I think it was just like the titanium white, and you can either mix the deep red or the phthalo red with that, just to get that kind of like pinky color, just to fill in any spot that, like I said, is still showing in your background. Okay, and hopefully everybody has a little bit of white saved. All right, so I'm just kind of like filling in, just very loose, loosey-goosey here. Kind of any white that I already, any white of the canvas. If you're like, oh, I can't do that, it's gonna mess everything up, then just don't do it. Or just add, make your ears bigger or make your horns bigger, or whatever you need to do to not have to do that stuff is fine. All right, and at this point, if you want to add anything to your background, any more colors, you can do that. Feeling pretty happy with this. All right, the last step is if you have either the end of your paintbrush, so the opposite end with no bristles, if it's rounded, you can use this, or if you have a Q-tip, you can use that. You're just gonna want something with a rounded edge here. We're just gonna add at the end, just to make it look even more artsy here, we're just gonna add, you can see on this one, a few dots. So I just added some random dots up here, some over here, some in the corner here. Okay, that's gonna like finish it off for us. So yeah, I just use the end of the brush and just kind of add, I think I added dots just like in a row here. Nothing crazy. Your canvas is probably still wet, so just be careful. This is just kind of like a little, we're just giving it a little signature here at the end. If you don't want to do the dots, that's fine. Add some down in the corner here. I'm a big fan of dots. If you've been to my mandala dotting class, then you know that. All right, guys. Let's see. That got a little crazy. All right. There we have it. Ta-da. Finished product. There she is.